If you're over 55, you already know the truth most people ignore. The best travel days aren't the fastest ones. They're the days where your body feels good, your mind feels clear, and you're not racing a clock. That's what slow travel is. It isn't traveling less. It's traveling in a way that gives you your life back, even while you're away from home. In this guide, you'll learn how to choose bases that support walkability and comfort, how to build a daily rhythm that keeps you energized, and how to handle the practical realities that make longer travel sustainable, like healthcare access, paperwork, safety habits, and cost control. If you're a US or Canadian retiree thinking, I want to travel more, but I want it to feel livable, this is for you. And if you like travel that feels calm, capable, and deeply enjoyable, subscribe. This channel is built for your next chapter, with systems that make travel easier and a mindset that makes it richer. Slow travel starts with permission. Permission to stop chasing highlights and start building days that actually fit you. When you're younger, you can muscle through bad sleep, long transfers, and one more attraction. After 55, comfort becomes the difference between a trip you enjoy and a trip you endure. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. A sustainable slow travel lifestyle comes down to 3 choices. First, you choose a place that supports your body and your day-to-day needs. Second, you choose a pace that doesn't create a recovery debt. Third, you travel like a temporary resident, not a visitor. Residents don't spend every day in transit. They build routines. They find a cafe, a pharmacy, a park bench, and a grocery store they like. They have favorite streets. That's why slow travel feels so different. It turns travel from an event into a life. You're not always arriving or leaving. You're simply living somewhere else for a while. So instead of asking, what's the best attraction? You start asking, what would make a Tuesday feel easy here? That one question will improve every trip you take. Let's make the destination choice practical, not hype. Criteria that protect your energy. Walkability isn't just about steps. It's about friction. If the sidewalks are broken, the crossings feel stressful. The hills are relentless, and every errand requires a taxi. Your daily life becomes work. A walkable base lets you move through your day without planning every small task like an expedition. Ideally, you can reach what you need at a comfortable pace without constant stress. One simple filter is what I call the 2 grocery rule. If you can walk to 2 different grocery options within about 15 minutes, you're usually in a neighborhood where daily life works. 2 grocery options often means you're also near cafes, a pharmacy, and basic services. It also gives you price flexibility because you're not trapped in one convenience store with tourist pricing. Comfort matters just as much, and comfort is specific. Think about stairs, elevators, noise at night, humidity, and mattress quality. Think about whether you'll sleep well. Think about whether the building entrance feels secure. Think about whether the apartment has good lighting and a decent place to sit, read, and call family. Slow travel includes real life, and real life needs a livable space. And here's an underrated criterion. Choose a base where doing nothing still feels good. A nearby park, a waterfront promenade, a quiet square, a pleasant neighborhood loop. Slow travel is built on days with no big plan, and those days should still feel like the reason you came. Healthcare is one of the biggest emotional barriers to longer travel. The good news is you don't need perfect certainty. You need layers. The first layer is personal readiness. Before you go, have a simple health note you can access quickly that lists your medications, dosages, allergies, conditions, and emergency contacts. Keep digital copies of prescriptions and have a refill strategy that matches your trip length. This alone prevents a huge amount of stress. The second layer is local access. Wherever you base yourself, identify the nearest pharmacy and a highly rated urgent care option early, ideally in your first week. You're not planning for disaster, you're building confidence. The same way you locate a grocery store and a good cafe, you locate the healthcare basics. The third layer is coverage and decision clarity. If you'll be away for weeks or months, you want travel medical coverage that fits your risk tolerance and your budget, and you want to understand what it does and doesn't do. I keep the voice in these videos brand agnostic, but for viewers who want a faster path, I keep a curated set of comparison links in the description so you can research without digging for hours. Slow travel feels luxurious when your mind is quiet. These layers are how you get that quiet. This is the heart of slow travel. Rhythm. Rhythm is what turns a trip into a lifestyle. A great slow travel day has a few anchors. Your morning is gentle instead of rushed. Your movement is steady instead of punishing. Your meals keep you stable instead of draining you. Your downtime is planned, not accidental, because recovery is part of the lifestyle. One of the most effective habits is the one main thing day. Instead of stacking 3 big activities, you choose one meaningful outing and let the rest of the day breathe. That might be a market visit, a museum, a long waterfront walk, or a train ride to a nearby town. When you choose one main thing, you stop racing the clock. You notice more. You get less irritable. You sleep better. And you build consistency, which matters more than intensity. Another habit is the neighborhood loop. Pick a route you enjoy and repeat it. Repetition is what turns a place from foreign into familiar. Familiarity creates comfort, and comfort creates joy. It also makes you safer in a quiet, practical way. When you learn what normal looks like, you spot what feels off. You look like you belong, and you move with more confidence. This is also a perfect moment for a free resource. I've put a slow travel city scorecard in the description that helps you evaluate a neighborhood for walkability, comfort, healthcare access, and daily life friction. If you want longer trips with fewer surprises, grab it and keep it for every destination you consider. Slow travel can be surprisingly affordable, but only if your setup is clean. Accommodation is the biggest lever, and longer stays often reduce nightly rates. But the deeper savings come from living like you live at home. You buy groceries. You cook a few simple meals. You choose cafes because you enjoy them, not because they're famous. You walk more. You take fewer expensive tours because you're not trying to compress the city into 2 days. Connectivity is another hidden lever. If your phone setup is messy, everything becomes harder. Maps, translations, banking security, ride pickups, family calls, and two-factor authentication. Before you leave, have a plan for data, a plan for keeping your number secure, and a plan for staying reachable. Many retirees are now using eSIM options or travel-friendly setups that reduce hassle, and you'll find vetted resources linked in the description if you want a shortcut to reliable comparisons. Logistics are also where people get burned, especially on arrival days. A long travel day can turn into a bad week if it ends with confusion, exhaustion, and a stressful check-in. With slow travel, you're allowed to buy calm. That might mean choosing a direct route even if it costs more, scheduling arrivals in daylight, or using a pre-arranged transfer when it reduces uncertainty. You're building a lifestyle, not proving toughness. Longer travel means you start interacting with rules. The rules are manageable when you treat them like a system. The simplest way to stay calm is to plan with a slow travel calendar. Instead of only asking, "Where do we want to go next?" you ask, "How long can we comfortably stay, and what does that require?" You're looking at entry rules, allowed days, and the rhythm of moving between regions. When you plan this up front, you avoid last-minute stress and expensive mistakes. For many retirees, a great first version of slow travel is a 2-base season. You choose one base where you stay long enough to feel settled, then you choose a second base where you stay long enough to settle again. 2 bases gives you variety without chaos. It also gives you time to handle life admin things that always show up, like laundry, refills, renewals, or planning the next leg. If visas or entry systems feel intimidating, remember this. You don't need to master everything today. You need a repeatable process. Verify the rules for your passport, document your dates, keep digital copies of essentials, and build the habit of checking requirements before you book. That's what turns bureaucracy from fear into routine. The final piece of slow travel isn't on a spreadsheet, but it's what makes the lifestyle emotionally satisfying. Belonging. You don't need a big social circle. You need a few touch points that make a place feel familiar. A cafe where someone recognizes you. A fruit seller who greets you. A weekly class. A quiet library. A walking route you come to love. When you have even 1 or 2 points of belonging, your nervous system relaxes. And when you relax, you enjoy more. This is where slow travel delivers its best reward. Instead of collecting photos, you collect experiences that change you. You learn how another place does mornings. You learn what normal looks like in a different culture. You remember what it feels like to have time again. And comfort here is a form of courage. Choosing comfort doesn't mean you're playing small. It means you're making travel sustainable so you can keep going. Before we close, a quick note for those who want to support the channel and simplify their planning. I keep a curated set of practical resources in the description, including options for travel medical coverage, getting connected, and smoother transfers. If you use those links in the description, it supports the channel at no extra cost to you. Slow travel after 55 isn't about doing less. It's about choosing better. Better bases, better pacing, better routines, better confidence. It's about waking up somewhere new and still feeling like yourself. If you take one idea from this guide, let it be this. Plan for Tuesdays. Choose destinations that make daily life easy. Build simple layers for healthcare comfort. Create a rhythm that protects your energy. And treat travel like a lifestyle you deserve, not a performance you have to maintain. If this helps, subscribe and grab the free Slow Travel City scorecard in the description. It's designed to make your next destination choice clearer, faster, and calmer. Thanks for spending this time with me. Until next time, travel slower, live deeper, and keep that next chapter wide open.